let's start the working session. Do we have anyone for the citizens forum? We'll go with the finance review then.
Okay, we'll start with the monthly budget report. Your total revenues by source. State revenue is at 16.87% received. Federal revenues 0%. Local revenues 7.5% received. Your total revenues by site, food service, minus 2.4% received. That's just because we took our revenue from this year, pushed it back to last year, so it shows up as negative till we get our starting of the school year revenue. Community service 4.72% received, debt redemption 7.63% received, and student activities 76.82% received. Grants for 25-26, Title 401, $0 received. For our expenditures, salaries and wages are 11.25% expended. Employee benefits 11.56% expended. Purchase services 33.14% expended. Supplies and materials 23.11% expended. Capital equipment 7.66% expended. Other is 38.01% expended. Your total expenditures by site, food service, is 18.84% expended. Community ed, 21.21% expended. Debt redemption, 12.96% expended. And student activities, 91.25% expended. Summary of all funds, revenues. Hold on a second. I think I ran the wrong report on this one, actually. I did. So, period ending September 30th, our expenditures are $1,362,060.70. Revenues, $1,155,531.14. Our cash and investments are sitting at $2,722,961.30. The reason why my report was a little different was I'm off on month end because of some audit entries by Brady Martz. So I did post a couple entries, and then the last entry I'm waiting for Brady Martz to tell me if it's okay to reverse one of their entries or not for this fiscal year. So it threw off our end balance just a little bit. So all our entries should be done. I'm going to have to make one more, but I'm waiting for Brady Martz to get back to me on it. So as of now, audit is pretty much done. They asked a couple follow-up questions last week. The final audit submission to the state is November 30th. We just did another one last week. We have 2 errors we have to fix on it, just like a negative expenditure, and there was one other minor thing. Sometimes they'll just tell us where we need to move our expenses, or we can't have an expense in a certain source code. But the auditors plan on presenting next month at the board meeting. Until then, the financial part is pretty much set. They'll just ask a few random questions as far as payroll, HR, and just overall functions of the school. Data census was completed and sent to NIS for paid family medical leave. That quote is attached. I also included a Q&A that I received from them. It has a lot of really, really good information. So I'll be attending a training next month with our payroll processor. Just a heads up on how to enter everything, and on my end, just how to handle everything with HR entering in that aspect. Then I'll be doing more training with NIS if we go with them. The other option is going with the state, and then I would do training with them. I would like the board to make a decision tonight because we want to inform the employees moving forward on what to expect, and then so I can share information with them and just make sure that I'm trained on how to handle NIS moving forward or the state moving forward.
So with our level,
What
am I
was-
seeing this right, with our level of employees, we have to pay $500 to the state to apply for an equivalent plan, right?
Yep, so just comparing right off the bat, NIS is cheaper than going with the state.
Even when you factor in that.
Yes. One huge benefit is we already work with NIS for life and disability, so I feel like I won't be duplicating my work as much because they already have all our, I do a data census for them every year. I'm working on the next one. I finished the paid leave one. Now I'm working on another one that we complete every year. So I just feel like the information's already there. Another positive is that it's easier for the employees to work with, I feel. I think back and forth you could probably find pros and cons to both. I think from an administrative position, I just feel really comfortable working with NIS. I've had a few meetings with them and they're like, hey, we got you. We already do paid family medical leave with all these states. And with now the state, it's just really, it's new. It's going to be a totally new program. The state of Minnesota's never done it. One thing we did talk about today, which was just really good, if we choose to go with NIS, we only have to agree with for 1 year. While if we go with the state, you have to lock in for 3 years. So if we're not happy, we can be done after a year. With the state, we're kind of stuck there. But I think like NIS will just be billed monthly like we currently are. They'll just add it to our current bill. Everything will be there. With the state, I don't know what that's going to look like. So I think for me right now, I just have this reassurance that I already know what it's going to look like with NIS. I think no matter what, there's going to be questions and different things. But I think NIS has just reached out. They do a really good job. They already provide insurance, so this is just a continuation for them. But it's good information to review. If you have more questions or anything, let me know. Robin, you may have worked with this a little bit, where you're at. I think initially when it was a little scary for me. I've been doing training on it. I've been doing a lot of training just with different organizations or different insurance companies, and there's still a lot of questions. But
There's just a lot of unknowns there for everyone.
yep. But going back to our financials right now, the final audit will be presented next month with our final numbers. But going into this year, everything's looking great. And then now we're moving into fall. Once negotiations and everything's completed, then we'll look at evaluating the budget and different adjustments. But as of now, the budget's looking great, right on track, so.
No big surprises with the audit so far?
No.
Is that the same audit we had last year too?
The
Where they
financial
were-
audit?
Yeah, or was that a different one when they were on the
Is this-
web?
Is this our first year or second year? I can't remember.
Brady Mart's second year.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
I lose track.
Yeah, well, they did have some additional GASB requirements this year. A lot more spreadsheets to put together, so they have to report sick wages, sick time, and then vacation time, so it's just a lot more reporting. Every year, it seems like they have a new requirement, so. And two, last year, we had a food service audit too, that's separate, so, and then I think the year before, we had a special ed audit, so, in addition to the financial audit. Any more questions?
When you were going over it for, you said for the, grants, 2025, what was the stat on there again? I
Oh.
think you said 0% or $0 received, is that
So
true?
quarterly, we turn in our expenditures, then we get reimbursed by the state. So, I report all of our expenditures to our grant person, Carolyn. She works for School Management Services, and then she goes in and does our poll. We usually do them a month late, so July through September is pulled in October. So so I send her a report that shows all our title expenses, and then she has to go and report it to the state, and then they'll send us the money for it. So we get those quarterly. Haven't heard of, hopefully everything will be on time with that. Haven't heard of any changes, hopefully it's, we're not in a position where it's gonna hurt us too, or if it's a little delayed, but. Yeah, okay.
Anything else? Okay, thanks. Go on to
Sheena?
So it's, I'll just piggyback real quick with what Sheena said in terms of NIS for Minnesota Paid Family Leave over the past month or week and a half. I've been in communication with some other superintendents because there has been this, the realization of the state is 3 years, et cetera, and a number of them that I really respect, they're going private as well, so I also recommend, along with Sheena, going with NIS. So going down my items, our student count, we're at 452. That does include 9 inactive students as of 10/23. In terms of referendum items, all required items have been completed as per the timeline and as per statute. Our next information session is October 30th at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. And off the tax calculator website, the number of views as of the 20th are 56 residential, 9 seasonal rec, 7 commercial, 1 agricultural. So, and that's, again, that's just people going onto that site to see how does this affect me. Now, moving forward after having my goals approved last month, I'm going to be relating things according to my goals moving forward. So in terms of the goal number 1, providing timely information, etc. Have been working on getting quotes and estimates on strategic planning facilitation. Received those from both Minnesota School Board Association and the Donovan Group. I'm also researching another group. I've reached out to a couple other superintendents to find out who they've used. There's a lot of different ones out there, but I'm looking for some of those recommendations on who people have used and had success with. Once I get that put together, then that's something that I'll be bringing next month to the board. In terms of financial operations, again, working with Sheena, our business manager, and I also in the process of auditing salaries, wages, along with certifications and licenses, just to make sure that everything lines up and we have accurate record of all that. As Sheena mentioned, preliminary results, they're finishing up with the final report coming in November. In terms of strengthening school community communications relationships, I did address the county board and city council this month, spoke about the referendum, introduced myself, got to have a couple other conversations, answer some questions, and felt that all went well. Going to be following up as well with folks to do more one-to-one meetings and kind of start exploring some other opportunities and grant opportunities as well. And then starting this Thursday, going to be holding from 8:30 to 9:30 at New Moon Cafe, coffee and conversation with superintendent. So personally, I'll be paying for just a carafe of coffee. People can come in, have a cup of coffee, hopefully ask me some questions, and get a chance to meet people that way. Moving forward, I'll be holding that on the second Thursday of each month from 8:30 to 9:30. Included with some of my items for you is information on the Minnesota School Board Leadership Conference, as well as Phase 1, 2, and 3 trainings. Something I would ask the board to consider is because they do offer it, maybe doing a Phase 3 training where they would do it virtually and we could do it in a few hours one evening. That way we're doing it as a team. So just offer that for consideration moving forward. The other item I would just offer to the board to be looking at the School Board Association website. There are some trainings coming up on Minnesota paid family leave, or I shouldn't say trainings, more of like a conversation, right? Things to consider, more updates, and then they have their coffee and conversations and a number of other things that occur monthly. So I just invite the board to look at that and attend as you may as well. Any questions? One other item. In the financials, you might have noticed a credit card charge that showed up as Jeff Nelson. That actually was a teacher in July, the end of July, a workshop training in Bemidji. It just happened to be the card that was on hand to be used, so Jill gave that teacher that card to use, but that card is now inactive. That was just a holdover. Moving forward, the district office card says district office, and we're not having names associated. You might have also seen on the AT&T bill, on there you'll see Diane Lane listed. That's just because that was the name associated with that phone. The main office has 2 phones, one for each secretary to be able to handle calling subs, or if we have a snow day and things like that. As maintenance has a phone, I have a phone, and now Mrs. Merchant has a phone as well. But and I've talked to them to get the names changed so that it's reflective of positions rather than people. Any questions? Thank you.
You.
Mary Merchant.
Good evening. We had Picture Day on October 15th, and then for those who missed that, once pictures are in, then retakes take place after that. The big item in the board packet is the Achievement and Integration Plan. When after this meeting, then I will submit it to the state, which they made the due date October 15th. They had our training on it September 18th. So it would have been basically impossible to get it in on time because it has to be board approved, which this is the first meeting we could do it. So as soon as those steps take place tonight, I will get that submitted tomorrow. But the 3 main goals are, one's an achievement goal, and this past year that was based on NCA scores, and the population was the free and reduced meals. That goal we did not make. When the committee met, one of the factors we looked at that might have been a contributor to it was some of the, I'm going to say, supports that were used in the past we had eliminated due to budget restraints. For example, IXL for reading and math, heavily used by elementary, used by junior high. And so we're thinking there's probably a correlation there. The other 2 goals we did meet, the integration one, and that was focused last year on our 6th, 7th, and 10th graders. And that was, when it's talking about integrating, it's working with an adjoining school district, and our school district of choice was Kelliher for proximity reasons. And the field trips we focused on were the Young Authors Conference, the Creativity Festival, and then the big field trip that our sophomores go to in Grand Forks, a career fair. And our goal of 85% last year was met, and keep in mind this is always the year after it happens. This year I'm really excited to say our sophomores, we had all but one student attend. So that's phenomenal how our kids are realizing the value behind it. And the only complaint they had was that it couldn't be an all-day affair because they had to limit how many activities they could participate in. So that's terrific. And then the third goal is a teacher equity, and that teacher equity goal has to do with our students' access to quality teachers. Well, and if we think about high school, we know all those kids have the same access to all the teachers. So that part of it we met. Our focus was the social emotional learning. That is being integrated into each of the classrooms, and our goal is to have 80% of that, and we by far met that goal also. I already mentioned the career fair. On Wednesday I go to the annual school law seminar. Halloween parties will take place short in the morning, so we'll be sending kids home all sugared up that afternoon. And then that's so 12 o'clock dismissed that day. I did send a letter out to parents last week about that with all of our noon dismissal dates on it so that they can mark those on their calendars. And then that afternoon, teachers will be working part of the time with Mr. Fitzsimmons on data analysis, and then the other part to get grades in since it's the end of the quarter. And then Veterans Day program is November 11th at 11 o'clock in the auditorium. And a meal for our veterans and guests will be following. And then I have one item that's not on there that I am doing some big time bragging for our cross-country team, who all season, quite frankly, there was just so much growth that they showed. Well, Friday they were in Bagley. I got to go to the section meet. Isaiah Yuso placed 14th, so he received all section honors, and he had a personal best of 17 minutes, 53 seconds. And then Vera Heinrichs, she got a personal best and beat our Lake of the Woods school record at 22 minutes, 8 seconds. So very, very proud of those kids, and it's the one sport that has the lowest fan base. So it was good, and it was just so dear how appreciative they were with the fans that they do have there. Any questions? Oh, should I give an update on the secretary position? What? Just that we've had 4 applicants, and we're in the process of interviewing, so hopefully we'll be able to bring something for recommendation soon.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Time to kill.
7 o'clock. We'll bring the meeting to order. We got microphones on. We're good to go. I need a motion and a second to approve the October 27th, 2025 meeting agenda.
Motion by Hack.
Motion by Hack,
I'll second.
second by Kay Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Any board presenters? Written communication. Old business. On to new business. Need a motion and a second to approve the September 22nd, 2025 regular board meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Kay Johnson,
I'll second it. Severs.
second by Severs. Sounds like he has the cold I do. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve the invoices, financial statements, bank reconciliation, wire transfers, and purchase card statement.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Sonstgaard,
Second by Hack.
second by Hack. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Approval of personnel appointees. Motion and a second to approve the appointments and resignations is presented. Appointments are Michaela Luchek, paraprofessional, Gerald Thompson, custodian. Resignations, Heather Northup, main office secretary.
Make.
Motion by Sonstgaard,
I'll second.
second by Kay Johnson. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve the achievement and integration plan for the 2025-26 school year.
Motion by Hack.
Motion by Hack,
I'll second.
second by Sonstgaard. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve the daycare lease agreement with Bailey Luchek.
I'll make the motion. Severs.
Motion by Severs,
I'll second.
second by Kay Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve the addition of Scott Fitzsimmons and Craig Severs as check signers and the removal of Jeff Nelson and Tim Lyon from the bank accounts.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Kay Johnson,
Second by Hack.
second by Hack. Any discussion?
Is just getting done kind of now, or was this what should we have done before? I'm just,
We heard
Are we
from the
late?
bank that we should have done this probably at the organizational meeting, so next January, when we have the organizational meeting, we'll make sure to have this motion included.
okay, because I have vague recollection of, oh, you know what I'm thinking is when we signed, we didn't make an actual motion on it, we just,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Any more discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve the termination of Pete Jens effective October 21st, 2025.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Severs,
Second by Hack.
second by Hack. Any discussion?
I missed all the fun.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I was saying, he was a custodian. He'd gone. I missed all the fun. I resigned too soon.
Yep. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve the participation of the Minnesota schools, approve the participation in the Minnesota School Sealant Program.
I'll make that motion as well.
Motion by Severs,
I'll second.
second by Kay Johnson. Any discussion?
Just for the sake of the public, would you mind, Scott, just sharing a little bit about it? I think it's a really neat program.
Yeah, so what it is, the Sealant program, so it's an organization, and they provide access to a dentist, a dental hygienist, and last year they worked with about 170 schools and 106 districts across the state, and what they do is they offer the sealant, teeth sealant, and it's aimed for students that qualify for educational benefits, but it's open to all families. And then it's charged to insurance. So there's no fees for the school. We just provide the space for them to do this. And so in terms of how this solution actually works, I'll just read real briefly from their information. The Minnesota School Sealant Program concept involves having a licensed dental hygienist and an assistant provide dental sealants to students. The dental team provides all the equipment and supplies, and the school simply provides the space. This would be a one-day annual program similar to vision and hearing tests that are done at many schools. Students would receive sealants and other dental services for 10 to 15 minutes and then return to class. As part of this program, all students are eligible to receive the following services: oral health screening, oral hygiene instructions, teeth cleaning, fluoride varnish, and dental sealants. So it's a chance for us to get involved, and if it goes well, it might lead to maybe more expansive kind of a program, so maybe our students and families don't have to take a whole day to go somewhere just to get their teeth cleaned. So, but this is a start.
And a bit of the study the fact that they put in there is that kids with sealant are 3 times less likely to get cavities.
Exactly.
And
Yep.
so, yeah, it's fantastic.
Our son had that, and it works.
Yeah, and then just being able to offer it here. They just need a small room, and what they ask for is close to nothing, so it's wonderful.
Any more discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve the NIS quote for the Minnesota paid leave coverage.
I'll make the motion.
Minnesota paid family leave coverage. Motion by Kay Johnson, second by Sonstegard. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2025/26-07, accepting a donation of $250 from Mount Carmel WELCA for the backpack program.
Motion by Hack.
Motion by Hack, second by Sonstegard. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And thank you very much, Mount
Yeah.
Carmel WELCA.
We send them note.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other business? Going once, going twice, adjourned at 7:08.